Anyway, we got a lot of yeah, we got a lot of crazy fucking footage. Like this lady who is a lawmaker who literally grabs the weapon. Like this is like, dude, going for the service weapon of an officer type shit is kind of crazy. She's literally like, give me the gun, bitch. Guys, you misunderstand. Koreans don't have guns, so they don't know what it is. They just don't know what it is. That's what it is. That's the problem. That's why they don't understand it's deadly to do that. This kind of stuff is so sick, but I'm always worried that I'm going to hype up some lady and then a week later I'm going to find out that she's like a fucking psycho. You know what I mean? Half the time, whenever you see stuff like this, you'll be like, oh, look at this massive protest. And then you find out they're like, they think it's illegal to even have gay thoughts or something. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying this lady's like that, but it happens quite frequently in international politics. She's the descendant of an independence activist against Japanese imperialism and graduated from Elha Women's University that led the impeachment of the former President Park Geun-hye. Okay, well, I dig that the grandpa was an independence activist and Japan calls him a terrorist. She is On Gueryong. She's part of the Democratic Party, which is known to be very centrist, but labeled as extreme leftism. Yeah, Korean politics is awesome. That's why I'm laughing. Like, the fucking... the goddamn incel president is like, yo, these guys are doing North Korean style communism here. They want to do Jusha. And the Jusha is like child tax credits. The Jusha is like, hey, why don't we actually not make it a 70-hour work week? I think we should keep it at the reasonable 67 it was at, sir. And then he's like, oh, that's the most communist thing I've ever heard in my life. Also, I'm fucking up the numbers, but it's not even a joke. That's literally what happened. Like, I'm exaggerating on the numbers, but like, that's what the president literally did. So that's not even a joke. It's crazy. They'd be like, can the unions get weekends off? They're like, this is the most extreme leftist position we've ever heard in our lives. What the fuck are you saying? It's, you want Jusha style self-reliant North Korean communism. We will not allow it. I mean, this is bad as fuck, dude. She's a bad bitch for this. This is crazy. Also, what is up with the North Korean special forces, man? What is up with the North Korean special forces? I mean, as much as I respect them for having trigger discipline and not like unleashing hell upon this civilian population, half of them are fucking congresspersons or whatever. I said North Korea, my bad. Yeah, it's just wishful thinking. Sorry. Yeah, South Korean special forces are just like, what's happening here? I've never seen people get pushed over so much with this much gear. It's kind of wild. That's crazy, though. That's crazy. She just went for it, dude. Respect. She went for the service weapon. I love that. I love that so much. That's aura. Speaking of aura, this is not the motherfucker that got stabbed in the neck, is it? Chat. Is this the guy who got stabbed on the neck like a week ago or some shit? Like it wasn't that long ago. This dude, not a week ago, but like he got stabbed in the neck like 2 months ago. Okay. And this motherfucker is already at it again. A year ago? God damn, time moves fast. I fucking thought it was like a couple months ago. Okay, whatever. He got stabbed in the neck a year ago and he's back to his old ways. Okay. Look what this man does here. It's awesome.
Live streamed himself being chauffeured to Parliament before clambering over the gate.
Yeah, he didn't just live stream himself getting chauffeured to the Parliament. He live streamed himself breaking into the Parliament and jumping over the gate.
Inside.
There is nothing fucking funnier than that, dude. I love that. That's so awesome. And guess which platform they couldn't do any of that on? Twitch.tv, because Twitch Korea is now gone. Imagine the content that would be on Twitch right now if Twitch Korea still remained, dude.
MPs and journalists scramble to get to the chamber. Outside the gates, the scuffles continue in a cloud of tear gas and a flash of cameras. Here, a member of parliament is seen grabbing a soldier's gun, shouting, "Are you not ashamed?" Others remember the last time martial law was imposed in this country, before South Korea shook off military dictatorship to become one of the most prosperous and vibrant democracies in Asia. And what happens in South Korea has...
Bro, like, no disrespect. This is not like shitting on South Korea at all. I just don't think America has a vibrant democracy either. It is funny though when people are like, oh, you don't understand. South Korea, this vibrant democracy. Like the only reason why they're saying that is so they can compare it to North Korea, which is bad, right? Like who the fuck in the Western world has their shit in order at this point. I'm serious. I'm not even kidding about this. Like we have fascists everywhere, dude. Motherfuckers are saying France. Oh yeah, it's real vibrant over there. Remember when Macron was like, I am not going to follow the democratic wishes and precedent set forth by, and I'm just going to refuse to fucking put anyone from the senior partner in the coalition that won in the previous election into a position of power. Yeah. Macron low-key did a centrist coup. Like he did it already in France. Sucks.
Repercussions well beyond its borders. A short missile's flight away from Seoul is North Korea, where dictator Kim Jong-un rules his nuclear-armed dystopia with a constant threat of invasion of the South, now in political turmoil. There to stop the North from trying it on are 29,000 US troops in one of the biggest American bases overseas. They've been here since 1953, the end of the Korean War. What will happen to them after President Trump takes office? One of the many questions with regional implications. Back to tonight, back to Parliament. As the standoff continues, the opposition parliamentarians who've made it into the building vote against the martial law. The result is 100.
I also don't understand it. It's like, why do we have so many troops and so much money that we're spending overseas that we have no control? Like, when this motherfucker pulls this shit off, one phone call, dude. Hey, President Goon, let me tell you something, okay? Stand the fuck down, bitch. Fuck you mean you're doing martial law? Stand down. I got 29,000 brave U.S. military Marines right there, ready to fucking ready to let it rip. What the fuck is this shit?
90 to 0. The remaining 110 MPs who belong to the President's People's Party did not show up to vote. Many of them, by the way, were also against the imposition of martial law. In the dead of night, the soldiers are filmed returning to barracks. If the coup is indeed over, it lasted 2 hours and 48 minutes, half an hour longer than Parasite, Korea's Oscar-winning film, and almost as
Oh, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. You can't be comparing it to Korean works, man. That's crazy. That's fucked up. Respect, though.
surreal. Well, let's take you live to Seoul, the South Korean capital, where we're joined by John Nielsen-Wright, who's head of the Japan and Korea's program at the Center for Geopolitics at Cambridge University. Welcome to the program, John Nielsen-Wright. Is it all over as far as you can tell?
It's too early to say, I'd say. I mean, it's reassuring to have seen the National Assembly vote so decisively to overturn the president's order. But we've had no clarification about the role of the military. And
I knew that as soon as he said Cambridge, someone was going to be like, Cambridge, you might meet that guy tomorrow. It's like, no, dude, he's in Seoul, okay? I'm in London, chat. I will not be meeting the fucking head of the, I don't know, the Japan Korea Bureau of Cambridge or whatever the fuck his title is. He could come back. Yeah, I think he's got a lot going on over there. What time are you meeting him? Fuck you, man.
And the president himself has been silent. The reassuring news is, of course, that the media continues to function. South Koreans are able to follow this story. But it is unquestionably a moment of, I think, acute tension. It should be noted that the leader of the president's party, the PPP, himself came out and said very decisively, this is unconstitutional. And there are demands for the president to resign or to be impeached and ultimately to be prosecuted.
I mean, you know the place well. Did this come out of the blue?
South Korean politics has always been very, very fractious, and it's got more fractious in recent years. And I think that's the clue to understanding why President Yoon has acted. I mean, he claimed that this is an attempt to...
That's an amazing analysis from Cambridge's very own Korea guy. Oh, South Korean politics is always fractious. Yeah, that's what I said. Okay? I can say that because I'm a fucking idiot. You are an academic. You can't just be like, oh, it's very complicated. Yeah, that's the way I analyze it because I don't know anything because I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, it's very fractious.
To deal with a threat from North Korea and its alignment with these progressive politicians. But the evidence for that is pretty much non-existent. President Yoon was facing pressure from a National Assembly that was wielding its legitimate democratic muscle to call for the impeachment of prosecutors who had been asked to investigate allegations of corruption, insider trading surrounding the president's wife, the First Lady. They decided not to proceed, and that was, I think, the spark, if you like, for the opposition politicians to demand that those prosecutors be...
I feel like I'm going crazy, but like low key, our politicians are so much cooler at doing crimes. Like maybe the standard is so fucked up because like America basically legalized bribery a long time ago. So then like you truly have to do something extraordinary to get in trouble. But when I think about like, you know, the past couple of years of Democrats caught in these like crazy affairs, these crazy scandals, like the only thing that comes to mind that's like kind of silly is Eric Adams. And he's the mayor of New York, right? What did Eric Adams do? He got, you know, a bunch of free flights so that he could let the Turkish consulate building get away with not passing a fire inspection or just like refuse to say something on our Armenian Genocide Recognition Day or whatever, right? But then you got the Bob Menendezes who are, you know, opening up halal meats markets through their Egyptian partners and ensuring that this like one singular Egyptian American company has like a monopoly on halal meat distribution in the country, and he's getting paid in gold bars. And then then you got, you know, Henry Cuellar, another similar situation with like Azerbaijan. I guess my point is, and then you look at Korean corruption and it's like, yeah, this dude's wife got like a nice fucking jacket, okay? And then the prosecutors were like, you can't do that. It's illegal, okay? And basically the president was like, how dare you do that to my wife? If you don't impeach these prosecutors, I am going to do martial law. And then did martial law because he was like, that's my sexy ass wife, dog. I'm a wife guy. You can't, if she that's my bitch. She's bad, okay? She's a bad bitch. If she wants to have expensive clothes, she's going to get expensive clothes. How dare you go after her? And it's like, man, what the fuck? Like the offenses, it feels like, or what is considered inappropriate feels so strange to me always. It almost feels like Joe Biden violates American laws and international human rights, okay? It almost feels like he does that regularly for Israel, but then lo and behold, God forbid, he fucking pardons his son, and then everybody gets mad, you know? Yeah, you got like a bunch of known pedophiles in power, but then this is the type of shit that people get frustrated about.
Be impeached. Delays.
Anyway, I'm just saying, I got much respect for the wife guy, President Goon. I always thought he was like a straight up incel, and it turns out he's not just a straight up incel, you know what I mean? President Goon also has a wife, and he loves his wife.
Budget approval, all of which had left the president feeling, I think, politically uninfluential and therefore cornered. And he's responded with this huge overreaction. History, I think, will judge him very harshly. But for now, we are in this standoff. And tomorrow, I expect we will see more protests by the public. South Koreans vote with their feet. And you remember back in 2016, the so-called candlelit protests against then President Park Geun-hye. South Koreans take their democratic rights very, very seriously.
And talking of that, I mean, the last time martial law was imposed was, I gather, more than half a century ago. Since then, South Korea has had this incredible transition to democracy, but also to amazing prosperity. It's the 10th richest country in the world, apparently. Of course, it has its soft power, the film Parasite, all that incredible K-pop music. But so why has he done something that belongs to the dustbin of history? Why go so?
I love this guy's understanding of the world, bro. Respect. Like, no, this is Orientalism, for the record. This right here is Orientalism to a T. Like, you just reduce the country, okay? And the dynamics, like, I joke about politics a lot, but at least it comes from a place of, like, somewhat understanding how human beings operate and recognizing that, this isn't, like, this isn't just a country where, their GDP is so good and they're making shit that my daughter watches, like K-pop. Why would he just throw that away? Yeah. The soft power of Parasite and K-pop. How could the president just throw that away? The answer is he's a wife guy. Anyway, cool stuff. When are you recording with a sideman? Never. I will never record with them.
Well, I think, President Yoon is not a conventional politician by any means, as this action so clearly demonstrates. His career was in the law, ironically. He was a special prosecutor appointed by the previous president, Moon Jae-in, to, if you like, clear up political corruption. The irony is, therefore, that he's now being charged with the very same type of offences that he was.
Oh my God, shut the fuck up. Dismiss, dismiss. I don't care about my fucking iPhone. Jesus Christ. Windows is like, oh, did you plug your iPhone into the computer? You have to restart it immediately. Actually, we're just going to do it anyway. I'm like, no, I don't want to restart it. They're like, no, you have to restart it. Please restart your computer. Please. I'm Windows. I'm Mr. Windows. Wouldn't it be nice if you restarted your computer?
Responsible for investigating him before. Special prosecutors, however, have often been seen as something of a law unto themselves. And that reflects, if you like, what I would describe as Yoon's almost authoritarian temperament, which has inclined him to take this, I think, hugely mistaken step in calling for martial law. In all of this, of course, other countries look on with, I think, a sense of anxiety. And it remains to be seen how he is going to dig himself out of this impossible position.
Indeed, and what the implications are for the rest of the week. In Seoul tonight, thank you very much indeed for coming on the program. Well, the Biden administration says it is watching the developments in South Korea with great concern and very closely indeed. Let's bring in our Washington correspondent, Siobhan Kennedy, who's at the State Department. Siobhan, what are they saying over there?
Well, I have just stepped outside of the press conference here at the State Department, and South Korea was the main line of questioning. The spokesperson there said that the US was watching what was happening, the events, with grave concern. He said that the hope and the expectation is that any political disputes will be resolved peacefully and within the rule of law. He gave no further details, but he did reiterate that all-important fact that the US was not given any notice about what was to happen in South Korea.
Damn, I can't believe that the president wasn't like, hey, by the way, I'm just going to do a coup.
Earlier. Let's hear a clip from him now.
We were not notified of President Yoon's announcement in advance. Ultimately, at the crux of this is not, President Biden, President Yoon, these two specific governments. What this is about is the broader strategic relationship and the broader strategic partnership that we have with the Republic of Korea. And that alliance, as I said, is ironclad.
Well, this will no doubt be embarrassing for President Biden. He considers President Yoon to be a key strategic ally.
What remains? I'm being so for real right now. What is there left? What hasn't Biden fucked up? Like, bro, the Syrian civil war is back. Israel is still bombing Lebanon. Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza. Russia is pummeling Ukraine. I just don't understand. Like, Biden was like, oh, we did Finland. For a guy who kept saying he was going to do so well on American foreign policy and how he was going to restore America's rightful place as the global hegemon. Bro, you really fucked the bag up, dude. All of our partners are on fire. I'm just waiting, dude. The Philippines are going to come out swinging with something crazy. We got what, like 40 more days left? I can't wait for the fucking Pinoy gang to come out and be like, nah, no, hold up. We still got some time.
I was asked earlier in Angola for any comment on what was going on. He said he didn't have any, but that he was being briefed on the situation. But make no mistake.
Yep. To answer the question on everyone's minds, no, Joe Biden does not have a doctorate in foreign affairs. He's just that fucking good.
What happens in South Korea really matters to the US. The two have a key strategic, economic and military ties. The Pentagon earlier confirming to us that it has 5 military bases in South Korea, housing some 28,500 troops. So these not just there, of course, to protect South Korea from any advances from the north, but also to ward against any...
I love British people. Pentagon. That's not how you say that, man. Fuck you mean Pentagon? That's a whole different name. Okay? British people be like Hezbollah. Hezbollah. That's what they say. It's like you put an R there. There's no R. Pentagon.
Threats from China in the region. So what is happening in South Korea really does matter to the people here in this building. And on that, the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, we're told, is urgently seeking to speak to his counterparts today as soon as possible.
Siobhan, thanks very much indeed. Well, Dr. Sojin Lim is a reader in Asia-Pacific Studies at the University of Central Lancashire and an expert on both Koreas. Thank you very much for coming on the programme. It's a bit odd, isn't it, that the US, with almost 29,000 troops based in South Korea, providing these security guarantees, the close friendship, apparently, as we just heard from Siobhan, between both Presidents Biden and Yoon, that they had no idea that he
They keep bringing up the 29,000 troops. They brought it up like 8 times.
was going to do this.
Oh, I think no one would have had this, the idea that he's going to do this, even in South Korea. And also the presidential office was very quiet. And the President Yoon didn't even inform the head of the National Assembly. So he, as the previous, the interviewee mentioned, that himself from the background in law, but totally ignored the process and the procedure against the law. So this was really came out of blue, and that tells us that he was really in the place, the position that needed to find the radical route, and this was really miscalculated in a way.
Last I checked, it was English language, not American. Yeah. And we still dominate, y'all. It's crazy. Imagine inventing the language and then still fucking up how to speak it. Pentagon! Yeah, you should... The British should be thanking us every day of the fucking week for actually making this goddamn language understandable and decipherable. Pentagon! Pentagon! I can't talk shit about aluminium because that's how you're supposed to say it in the rest of the world. Aluminum doesn't make a lot of sense. That's the one thing where they're not wrong. Top of the hour ad break. Pentagon! There is no more top of the hour ad break. I quit that. I quit my old ways of running 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. You can still subscribe though if you want for $5 all for free with a Twitch Prime. Well, it's not even 5. I think it's like 7 now, but you can still subscribe to show support to the HasanAbi broadcast. As you all know, rain or shine, we grind. Doesn't matter if I'm on the other side of the planet. I'm in motherfucking Londonistan right now, and I'm still here, baby. Got off the plane after a 9-hour flight. Back to business. Business as usual. I'm crazy like that. It's $4.99 in the UK. It's £5, yeah, in a fucking UK, lads. Never Uber from Heathrow. Wait, what? I have before, but why not? I didn't this time.
What was this then? An extreme example of political impulsivity and frustration?
Yes, so actually, yes, he was frustrated in a way because of the recent scandal with his own wife, the First Lady, and the top level of the politicians in South Korea. It has been a while that the population in South Korea gathered and then protested and then demanded impeachment already. And if we see the statements to the last night in South Korea, the articles, and it clearly shows that he was frustrated with the recent demand by the population and public, and also he was frustrated with the recent conflict between the government and the medical members in the society. So all this tells us that he really wanted to solve out the problem with this martial law, but obviously it doesn't look like it worked out well.
South Korea has a bit of a tradition of locking up its ex-presidents. Do you think that that's where he's going to end up now? In jail?
Yeah, that's...
Okay, Mr. Parasite does know that at least, so that's good. I mean, yeah, this motherfucker's probably going to jail, right? I feel like you can't be a South Korean president and not go to jail. Like, it's low-key part of the job. If you run for higher office in South Korea, you have to do cheating scandals. And you have to do some corruption, and then they catch you, and then they throw you in jail for like 6 years. But then you're fine. But then you're fine. You can totally come back after that. You can still run a company. If you're sitting on a board, you can run a board and sit on it while you're in prison.
Said that story. Actually, I was talking about with my colleagues about that. Now another president will end up in prison. So the only president who didn't end up in prison would be the previous president who negotiated with the previous government. So this is very unfortunate, but it looks like he has no choice, but then will be impeached and then will prison because obviously he violated the law.
So North Korea, of course, just on the other side of the demilitarized zone, is watching this very closely. We know that recently the North Koreans wanted to sever any sort of physical links with South Korea, which alarmed a lot of people that they were thinking of an invasion at some stage and not a unification. What are the repercussions of this for this very explosive peninsula?
So even though there was this conflict escalate,
the Western world's like, all of our enemies are laughing at us, man. Yo, why can't we figure this shit out? China laughing at us. Kim Jong-un laughing at us. They're farting on us, bro. They're out there farting on us. What the hell? America's The Western world is so funny, especially America, where it's like they've destroyed all of their enemies, like all of their significant enemies they've destroyed. And this last 3-decade process has just been like running victory laps and letting capitalism thrive so much that it, you know, inevitably heightens the contradictions and makes it untenable, unsustainable. That's it. Our final boss is ourselves. That's it. The amount of damage that we do to ourselves, none of our enemies could do to us.
And that was in narratives, and the Korea Peninsula has been there as a buffer zone between the power game between US and China. And North Korea, we actually didn't think that it will invade the South Korea, but it will more try to negotiate with the US. And now having the President Trump as a new president in the United States, the North Korea wants to provocate more so that it can has the attention, and South Korea had to deal with it. But now the President Yoon expected that, you know, the President Trump will be very different from the Biden administration, and that also looked like worked as a.
I'm a one-stater, dude. I'm a one-stater always. We got too many fucking states. Time to smush them together. Put America, Canada, and Mexico into one big state. Okay. Former USSR territory, one big state. No more balkanization. I'm a reverse balkanizer. Yeah. Canada, United States of America, and Mexico make come. See, come. And the same. No more North Korea, South Korea. No more North Dakota, South Dakota either. Okay? Just Korea. One Korea. Unified. Strong. I'm done. You leave that shit to me, that's what I would do. One state. No more Israel, Palestine, two-state solution. One state. Tighten it up. Okay, enough back and forth, enough fighting, no more fighting. You feel me? My goal is to tie these countries together slowly but surely until they're all just one big state, you know? That's what I want. One world government. That's such a funny thing that Republicans get mad at, or like conspiracy theories get mad at, like, what do you mean you want one world government? It's like, bitch, you haven't left your neighborhood. Like, what do you mean? What difference does it make? Multiple world government, one world government, what difference does it make to you? You live in Alabama. You have never left your hometown. What, you think if they're like, there's a lot of options for you out there? You were going to fucking move. If America sucks, you're going to go to a different government. Is that what you're going to do? No. You can't even move to a different state. You think the cities are scary. The fuck difference does it make if there's a one world government or not? You're a fucking peon. Shut up. Oh, I can't believe it. You want to do one world government. You want to institute homosexual socialist order. It's like, yeah, dude, it's really going to change your life. There already is a one world government. It's called capitalism, and you seemingly think it's sweet. Shut the fuck up. You know, lots of it is rooted in the Christian end times paranoia. I know, but like the end times are low-key kind of here, and these guys don't recognize it. What is this? Britain changed you, bruh? I'm just a little cuckoo right now. You know what I mean? Wait, what did Jank do? I'm a little bit like that because I'm a little delirious from a lack of sleep. I'm a little max left right now. I'm feeling maximum left, baby. What a day. I'm feeling max left.
That frustrated Yoon Suk-yeol because he may need to change his direction completely differently from what he has imposed at the moment.
Right. In one word, is South Korean democracy safe tonight, yes or no?
Oh, South Korean democracy. We are still developing, I think.
Okay.
And as a person who has lived outside of Korea, I think
that's fair of her to say. I think South Korea has a long way to go. And so does America, by the way. Don't let any dumb fucking Amerifat ever tell you that that is not the case. Okay? Americans love to think like, oh, dude, we got this shit locked down. Okay? Our shit is so sweet. Oh, we're a champion of democracy. It's like, oh yeah, dude? Oh yeah? How about them abortion rights in like half the fucking country? Champion of democracy. We're a shining beacon of morality and democracy. No, man, our shit sucks, okay? So this isn't me just saying that about like South Korea and being like, oh, those guys over there, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't have democracy like us. I'm not saying that. I'm simply saying we don't have that shit either, okay? Bernie says he's pro-annexing Canada. Trump has suggested Canada become the 51st state in our union. Does that mean, well, we already have a 51st state. Israel's like, whoa, chill. Israel's about to be like, haven't you forgot about little old me? I feel like there's someone you're forgetting about. Okay, Canada will be the 52nd state. Also, fuck it. Merge the Dakotas. Merge the Dakotas and the Carolinas, man. I'm so serious about this. The Carolinas will be united once again. No more neighbor on neighbor violence, dude. What's up with Virginia too? Why is there two? Why is there two of them? I don't even want one. How about no Virginia? Call us something different. And you got Kansas and Arkansas. Fuck it. That's one state too. That's right. I have a bold and radical agenda. Germany and Austria. Okay, chill. Someone else tried to do that, and he had a lot of bad ideas. Okay, we're not saying no. Those two can remain separate. Okay. How else will the Austrians say that they were uninvolved? Fuck it, throw Missouri in the pile too. Why the fuck does that exist? We don't even need one Dakota, and here we are with two Dakotas, two whole Dakotas. That's crazy. That's crazy. Can we get rid of Indiana? Okay, all the Ohio and Iowa boys are chirping. This is some typical Midwestern nonsense right here. Oh, fuck it. Hey, now you're talking about merging states. How about we just nuke Indiana? Like, I'm sorry that you have like long-standing college football hatred. Okay, you can't just sneak that in there. Anyway, does that mean we can adopt a healthcare system and guarantee healthcare to all, lower the cost of prescription drugs, and spend 50% less per capita on healthcare? I'm all for it. He said, let's annex Canada. As long as dude, that's a ride or die man right there. That's Max left. That's when you want healthcare for all so bad that you're willing to annex Canada for it. Merge the Washingtons too. I feel like that would be logistically too difficult. Like, I get the energy. Like, why are there two Washingtons? Like, that gets real confusing for a lot of people, you know? But I feel like they're too far away from one another to be able to successfully merge them.
It is seeing the kind of catalytic moment, so that there will be a further development, and the population will realize that, you know, we can achieve that in a way that in this moment.
A work in progress. Now, but Sojin Lim, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Okay, let's bring you an update on our top news story tonight. South Korea's president says he will move to lift the martial law declaration he imposed just a few hours ago after Parliament voted against the measure. Yoon Suk-yeol says the martial law command forces have now withdrawn, and a cabinet meeting.
Pussy. Bro, you ain't a real wife guy, okay? I take it back. This motherfucker is not a real one, dude. 2 hours, and immediately they were like, no, stand down, sir. Stand down. Where is the decorum? We were able to reach the perfect number of parliamentary votes to tell you that you must stand down. And he was like, ugh, I guess. Like, why did you do this to begin with? What the fuck was he thinking? I actually don't understand what he was thinking. Like, if you were going to get owned by quorum, then you just never had your heart in it at all. Like, you had no investment. You had no investment in this. You cannot. Like, I feel like he didn't even get his party on board. He didn't get the military on board. You know what I mean? He didn't get nobody on board. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this, like, on a whim. Wouldn't it be funny? He's like, wouldn't it be funny if I just did this? Just a light dictatorship. I guess the point is, the important lesson to learn here is, if your heart is not in it, you shouldn't go with it, you know? If you're going to be bold, you have to abide by the live Moss lifestyle, you know? You can't just half measure it. You can't be like, oh, just let's do a little bit. Let's do a little bit of a coup, like a baby coup. As a matter of fact, martial law is supposed to come after a failed coup. That's what you're supposed to do. Let me tell you, you're supposed to, like, if I'm the KCIA, the Korean CIA, okay? If I'm this guy, I'm going to the KCIA and I'm doing this, like, you know, I'm finding like I don't know, like a trade unionist group or something. I'm infiltrating it, and then you know, I'm doing like a light terror attack, right? Like a self-inflicted wound, and then I'm using the panic and disorder caused by that to then implement martial law in order to defend the sanctity of the Korean institutions and the Korean democracy. You can't just fucking randomly be like, oh, you guys wanted to come after my wife. Well, let me tell you, you've upset the wrong wife guy today. It's martial law time. Like, you can't do that. You have to have like some kind of fucking false flag operation to justify martial law to centralize power like this. Really, really fucking dumb. Really dumb move from this guy. Well, these events caused the Korean proletariat to embrace Jusha and do revolutionary action to reunify under Supreme Leader Jong-un, even though the martial law has been lifted. Yeah, I doubt it.
Will be held as soon as possible.
President-elect Trump says there'd be...
All right, we're not done with the Korean story. Are you giving him tips? Yeah. So the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions will begin an indefinite general strike tomorrow, demanding his immediate resignation. So now they're going to punish him. The Korean Confederation of Trade Unions said, emergency Central Executive Committee meeting just ended. The KCTU will hold a Central Executive Committee press conference at 8 on December 4th. And beginning with this, will commence an indefinite general strike until Yoon Suk-yeol regime steps down. KCTU members will stop work in accordance with the general strike directive and carry out nationwide emergency strike. Like, you can't be disrupting Samsung, dude. You can't. You fucked up. President Goon, you fucked up. If I can't get my new Samsung super slim LED 4K Ultra HD TV in time for American Christmas shopping, it's over for you. They're going to hang this man. Members in the capital region shall gather at Seoul. I don't know how to say that word. Gongwamun Square at 9 on December 4th. I hope Faker is fine. I think he's all right, man. They don't make South Korean dictators like they used to, man. Yeah, I know. By the way, I do want to tell you guys something very sincere. Skara is the first person I DM'd when I found out this was happening. And that's not even a joke. Okay? Immediately, I was like, Skara, wake up. I DM'd him. I said, Skara, wake up. Do you know what's happening in Korea right now? I was worried for my man. Make no mistake. Okay? Offline TV flies to Japan. Shinzo Abe gets assassinated. Offline TV flies to Korea. President Goon decides to do a fucking martial law. Why the fuck? What is going on, dude? Is offline TV a State Department asset? What is happening? How come anywhere they go, there's always mass chaos and political disorder? I'm just saying, it's weird that it's happened twice now. Offline TV about to do a Philippines trip. Watch this space. Actually, I don't know if they are, but yeah, look, November 29th, state asset Lily Pichu enters the boundaries of the Korean state. Okay, you ain't slick. You ain't slick. She posts in Korea. 4:58 p.m. November 29th, 2024. December 3rd, 2024, a week later, the state assets have successfully activated President Goon to institute martial law. Don't let him go to China. I know. Terrifying stuff. Where's that thread? But yeah, he declared martial law. First declaration of martial law since 1979, which was followed by Guanlu uprising in the following year. President Yoon ordered a complete shutdown of the National Assembly, but he failed to do so. Opposition Democratic Party urgently summoned its members of the National Assembly. The speaker was headed to the National Assembly building. It was closed off by the police. They still went in. The ruling party also called for his representatives for an emergency caucus, and its leader criticizing the declaration of martial law as inappropriate. President Yoon Suk-yeol of South Korea declared martial law in the emergency briefing. Yoon said it was made to prevent the anti-state forces, specifically citing the opposition party and its followers as pro-North Korean leftist groups. Under the Constitution of the Republic of Korea, the president has the authority to declare martial law and prescribe its scope, rights, procedures, and duties of martial law commander through the Martial Law Act. First martial law was declared on October 21st, 1948. It was following the Yosu Sunshan incident. Since then, it has been misused as a means to seize and maintain power by dictatorial regimes. There were 12 emergency martial law declarations from 1948 to 1979, all under the dictatorship. Today, Yoon declared the country's 13th. According to the martial law decree, all political activities are strictly prohibited and media and publications will be controlled. Okay. However, the Korean population had a very different attitude about it, and they immediately took to the fucking streets, and they went to the parliament. First, all the opposition parties were able to sneak into the parliament with enough numbers to actually get, the sufficient number of seats. Then they voted against it. They voted to, stop the martial law. The National Assembly passed the resolution request to lift the martial law with a unanimous approval from all 190 registered members. Although the National Assembly passed the resolution demanding the lifting of martial law, the presidential office maintained its silence. They were restricting press access. When the National Assembly demands lifting the martial law with the approval of a majority of its attending members, the president must lift it immediately. However, the situation became problematic since the presidential office was silent. Democratic Party revealed military planned to arrest Assembly Speaker and party leaders under martial law, reviewing possible insurrection charges. But the martial law was lifted and President Yoon backed down. Now, what do you do after this? Do you say bygones be bygones? Do you just say, my bad? Do you just say, I'm a silly goof? I was just goofing. Chill. It's just memes, bro. In order to fully understand this, we have to go back to 720 AD. We have to go back to Neo-Confucianism, the Korean method of Confucianism that had a more rigorous approach to the hierarchical structure of Confucianism. And we have to talk about the Han River and how American forces, American Navy forced Korea into trade. Why does it come up every day now? Because it's very important. It's very important to understand. President Yoon announced that he will approve the lifting of martial law as soon as the cabinet meeting reaches a quorum. That means there's still one more procedural step. I think it's really funny that there's this process focused approach. But yeah, if you want to understand, presidents of South Korea, 48 to 60, overthrown. 60 to 62, Young Bosan, overthrown. Park Chung-hee, assassinated, 1962 to 1979. Choi Kyu-ha, removed by military coup in the 80s. Chun Do-hwan, 81 to 88, sentenced to death after his presidency. It's fucking awesome. It's like, if you want to be president of Korea, you will get either killed or you will actually have to spend a decent amount of your life in prison. But there is something, like I said, very funny about being so rules-based and such a norms head that you're like, oh no, I tried to do a military coup, but they got me. They got me how? By getting in the room and voting. No, they did it. They did the thing. It feels stupid. Roh Tai-woo, sentenced to 22 years in prison after his presidency. Imprisoned during the term of President number 3 as president, secured convictions against 2 of his predecessors. Imprisoned under President number 3 and sentenced to death under President number 5, later pardoned. Nobel Peace Prize laureate. They showed that if it was illegal, there would have been large amounts of resistance. It's not just legal positivism. There are materialist factors at play. No, I know. He didn't also get his ducks in a row. You know what I mean? He didn't do the things that you're supposed to do before you institute a coup like this. There needs to be you need to make a case for it. You can't just fucking be like, I'm doing a coup because I'm a wife guy. Who amongst us hasn't done a coup at the behest of their wife and their expensive taste? You can't do that without securing support from at least the officer class of the military. You can't do that without planning it with your party at least. You can't just casually be like, oh man. Also, giveaway alert. The winner is Oliviami. Congratulations, you won the giveaway today. We're going to continue doing that as well. Roh Moo-hyun, impeached, later overturned by Constitutional Court, investigated for corruption after his term and committed suicide. Lee Myung-bak, 2008 to 2013, arrested for corruption after his presidency, sentenced to 15 years in prison. Park Geun-hye, impeached and arrested for corruption, sentenced to 24 years in prison. Except for my goat, Moon Jae-in. That's the one guy. That's the one guy that went in and went out. Okay? He's the G. He's the OG. Wait, there's another sweepstakes. For a chance to enter, type in the chat, ! Enter. You can get a gifted HasanAbi merch. God damn, people are going crazy. Oh, there's got to be a good video on Korean politics and how insane it is, right? But not from a annoying liberal POV. I know we've tried to tackle Korean culture and the Korean gender wars, but I think it would be nice for us to learn a little bit more about Korean politics without diving into Confucianism. What?
This video is brought to you by Skillshare.
How bad politics is ruining South Korea?
South Korea is...
I said, I hope not from a fucking liberal perspective. And you immediately sent me the most libbed up video.
South Korean politicians are all morons! They will do literally everything to try and fix their birth rate problem rather than getting to the main cause. The literally everything includes a politician promoting Kegel exercises or suggesting girls start school a year earlier than boys to make them more appealing. What? What the fuck are you talking about? Because I heard that it was a kid diddler. Yeah, I heard that it was a pedophile. If you ever watched any of Bong Joon-ho's movies, you would know that the main message of all of his amazing movies is South Korea is a fucked up place. This country is...
Yeah, okay, I feel like there's more lessons in it than just that, but what do I fucking know?
Literally ran by Samsung, LG, and Hyundai Kia. They have a horrible work and school culture, but by far the most important quote-unquote challenge they face...
Excuse me, sir, can this pregnant woman have a seat? Oh no! Oh no! I wish it was a joke. Not all South Korean men. Not all South Korean men. Okay, there's normal men out there in South Korea, but, and this is a big but, this is not just like a joke that randomly exists online, okay? This is a very real thing that some South Korean incels do as an act of resistance against women. Is not... Yes, shit is fucked up. The gender war stuff is pretty crazy.
Is the horribly low birth rate they have. It is the worst in the world, and it's recently plummeted down to 0.72 births per woman. A country needs a birth rate of 2.1 to keep their current population, let alone grow it. And they're at 0.72. So why do the South Korean women not want to make babies with these handsome, rich, cute little twinks? They fuck with the other guy. They ask me to give up my seed. South Korea is miles ahead in misogyny technology than every other country in the world. Among Korean men, there is a widespread perception that designated seats for pregnant women are an excessively female-friendly policy, to the point
70% of South Korean men think that misinjury is real and it's a massive problem. And I think it's like 79% of South Korean men under the age of 35 that think that way. Yeah. I'm going to repeat it again. Plus 35 South Korean men, 70% of them think that anti-male discrimination is very real and is a major problem. 79% of South Korean men under the age of 35 think that. Like, South Koreans watch Asmongold and go, this guy is too woke. What a fucking liptard pussy. I haven't heard him say a single thing about how pregnant women are disgusting and shouldn't be out in society. What a fucking woke ass this guy is.
Where it became a trend on the internet to protest this policy by posting photos of dudes sitting
that's what I was talking about.
In these seats as a form of protest. Imagine you're a woman in South Korea, right? You already have...
Wait, no, is this the hand signal to say that like women have big pussies? As opposed to this, because of this. Oh my God, is that their thing? Did I just figure something out? Am I crazy? Are they doing a hand signal to say like women got big old pussies or whatever? What are you saying, boss? Okay, we learned from our investigations into South Korean misogyny that this hand signal is considered hate speech. Okay, when you do this right here, this is considered hate speech in South Korea. Why? Because this means you have a small dick, okay? This is considered hate speech because the fucking incels got up in their fifis and were like, how dare you say we got little old dicks? Which is weird because you're doing a self-reveal at that point. You know what I mean? You're basically saying like, I do have a little ass dick and it's very frustrating for me. Like that's basically what you're saying. It's a self-report, but it don't matter. Some dudes are like that. Tell the winners, wait, Oliviami and Parco Digital, go fucking redeem your gifts. Goddamn. Why did that sign make you think, oh, I see big pussy? Because I know incels really well. And I also know that they have like the hand signal thing already. So maybe that'll be an active resistance because it seems weird that they keep doing that. Like they keep doing this thing. So maybe they thought in their minds it's a direct response to this is by saying this. Because like people don't, a lot of incels, a lot of misogynists online don't understand how pussies work. So one of the common things that they think happens is like a vagina grows larger when they have sex. They don't understand anatomy. I'm not even kidding. That's literally a thing that fucking incels think. They think when you have sex as a woman, and you shouldn't do that. You should never do that as a woman, never have sex. Which is weirdly enough what the 4B movement is all about. But anyway, I'm not even going to get into that. But basically, incels think that when you have sex, your vagina grows, and also that like your pussy lips grow too. Yeah. Like they think that your labia is not just like it just is not just like a genetic thing. It just looks like that. They think if you have like labias that protrude or whatever, they think it's because you had too much sex. Isn't that crazy? That's why my mind went to that. I think you're talking about elasticity and whether we get stretched out. Yeah, bro, what the fuck? I got you on speaker, dog. Dog, you need to learn what incels think about the female vagina, okay? I'm sorry. My AirPods just got disconnected on a crowded train. Yeah, everyone is now going to know that that's not what vaginas do, okay? There you go. I just gave everybody a quick anatomy lesson. Your labia does not stretch out and reveal itself after having sex with a male partner. And your vagina doesn't also stretch out permanently. That's not how that works.
Protest. Imagine you're a woman in South Korea, right? You already have these unbelievable, unrealistic beauty standards where to be considered pretty, you have to be basically a supermodel. South Korea has the most plastic surgeries per capita in the world, with over 1 million operations happening every year. And with every 1 in 4 women aged 19 to 29 already having plastic surgery done, with men being 2%. On top of this, these motherfuckers decide to give you the largest wage gap on the planet for your hard work. And they only decriminalized abortion in 2021, 3 years ago. It's not legal now, but it's not illegal either. Me personally, if I was a woman, I would be crashing out and tweaking. Man, fuck men in particular, but not literally, which is how the 4B movement spawned, which means no dating, marriage, childbirth, or sex with dudes. And when your country's laws about women are written by John Jones and Harvey Weinstein, with intense misogyny, discriminatory laws, and the highest wage gap in the world, it is no surprise this movement spawned in South Korea. You know what does not help either? South Korea being the most expensive place in the world to raise a child, costing around $270,000 to raise a child until the age of 18. In second place is the glorious People's Republic of China. Taiwan, South Korea, your destiny is to be obliterated into nothing by a Chinese Dongfang missile. South Korea has this phenomenon called academic elitism, where basically if you don't go to the best universities they have to offer, your life is basically over. You're gonna get a shitty job. No.
This is where Neo-Confucianism comes into play. I mean, but like, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. And also that's why apparently, and I did not know this either, like so much of the fucking scandal unironically comes from these politicians sending their shit ass sons and daughters into these top schools that they do not deserve to get into. And then they don't even show up to class. And then everyone gets super mad about it. It is the nerdiest country on the planet, dude. It's fucking awesome. It's kind of funny where they're like, they're not doing school right. This is the most important thing. It's school. School is the most important thing. And a politician is making their next of kin not do school right. This is unacceptable. You will pay. We will punish you. You will pay for your school crimes. Being a nerd isn't wrong though. I still think it's kind of funny. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, in America, you know what our politicians' children are doing? Crack cocaine. That's right. They're doing crack. Okay. They're doing crack cocaine with strippers and also filming themselves constantly, filming themselves with strippers doing crack cocaine, like a particular debate lord likes filming himself having sex with people and then sending it to people, like the same level of frequency. Okay. Don't know why. Don't understand it. Why would you do that? Especially if you're the son of a president, or especially if you're like, somewhat known and hated figure online. Why would you constantly film yourself doing sexual acts? Why would you send yourself doing sexual acts to other people? Who knows? Who knows the answers to these questions? I certainly don't know. Okay? I certainly don't know. But let me tell you something, okay? You know what's funny? When our politicians' sons are, doing crack cocaine, we pardon them. And the controversy is nowhere near as bad. But in Korea, you get sent to jail when you do stuff like that, which is crazy.
No money, you will be sucking dick behind the KFC on Daehakro Street for money. And then there are the Sky Universities, Seoul, Korea, and Yonsei Universities. Whether or not you get into one of these 3 universities decides your financial and social position in the country for the rest of your life. It's like parkour civilization. So there's a huge pressure on the Korean youth to get into one of these, which is why private tutoring has a whole term for it called hagwons, and why it's a $20 billion industry. Because every parent, no matter their financial capability, wants their child to succeed. And since Korean society is set up in a way where you need to go into the sky schools, Korean households spend more on private tutoring than housing and food. Because of these exorbitant prices, households can barely afford 1 kid, let alone more. And they also probably don't want to put their kids through the same education hellhole they went through. An 8-hour entrance exam? Real question. 48 hours with Diddy or 8-hour entrance exam?
I don't know, man. That's a tough call. Yo, like actually tough call. Because look, in Turkey, we have fucking crazy entrance exams as well, twice. One before high school and one before college. And I can't imagine how fucking devastating 8 hours is, bro. Like, that shit's like 4 hours. And it's hell. Oh my God, the anxiety, the buildup, the constant fucking training from like the after school training. Wild you still chose art after all that. It's not wild that I chose it. It makes sense that I came to America. That was my escape. I came to America where you have a joke called the SAT, where your math, like I maxed out my math. I think I got 1 question wrong, or I think I might have actually gotten 0 questions wrong on my math on my SAT. You want to know why? Because the SAT math to the rest of the world is a joke. Okay? And I hate math. I aced Calc 1. That was the only thing I got an A on because I learned it in like 9th grade, and Calc 2, and then I never looked back. I don't remember a single goddamn thing. Don't ask me to fucking multiply shit. I won't be able to do it. But at the time when I was locked in, going and doing Turkish education, it was shocking to me how fucking stupid Americans are. Straight up, it's crazy. The rest of the world laughs at you guys. Your math skills are dog shit. Anyway, I mean, by you guys, I mean me guys too, because I'm fucking stupid as well. All right, let's continue.
The rest of your life. Discuss in the comments below. The Korean entrance exam, CSAT, aka Kokskibidi ass torture, literally has killer questions that are bullshit questions just to make the student scores lower. A lot of times these questions aren't included in normal schools either, but are only included in these private tutoring schools. So already, if your kid is not in those expensive private cram schools, he's set back by this capitalist shithole called South Korea. And these killer questions are either some insane diluted algebra questions that have not been solved by any mathematician ever, or some obscure literary takeouts. What did Tyler respond to Kai Cenat when
Wait, he said algebra questions that have never been solved. Like they're asking random young Korean men and women mathematical equations that like they have to solve like the fucking janitor in Good Will Hunting. You know what I mean? Like they're splitting atoms over here. Oh, that's funny. I like that.
I asked her out on a date. Oh my God, bro. They only decided to remove these questions last year, so good job on that. But Koreans still spend nearly $20 billion a year on these private tutoring schools. Usually what happens in a normal Korean teen's day is they go to school from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., already 8 hours of classes, and then goes to the private cram school, which usually goes from 6 to 9, already 11 hours of classes, and then the rest of the day.
Bro, this is how it is in Turkey too, by the way. It's not even a joke. Or was. When I was growing up, I mean, the hours weren't as bad, but it was like, I think it was like 8 to 4 and then like 4 to 8. So it was 12 hours total of studying. I did cram schools too. We call them dersane. It's it's a school that like you start. I guess you started at like 6th grade in order to get ready for your placement exams, and then these. Okay, Turks are saying in the chat they're confirming that this is still the case. So basically, the way it works is like you get by like 6th grade you start the cram schools so you can do better in your placement exams, because like if you do well in your placement exam, then you get to go to a good school, and then if you go to a good school, then you go to a good university. It's really fucked up. It is really fucked up, honestly. And in Turkey, you also have to pick your you have to pick your track in I think like 9th grade. I guess you have to pick your track, where you got to go Teme, Mefe, or what's the other one? Back in my day, it was Teme, which is like Turkish and mathematics, or Mefe, which is mathematics and science, mathematics and science. And then I think there was like a third one. Maybe was it art? I can't remember. Oh, Sözel, which is like the lame one. But yeah, you pick that shit super early. Which ones you pick? Teme, Turkish and mathematics, literature and mathematics. My brother was Mefe because he's more autistic than me. So that equals unemployment. Yeah. My brother was full science. I mean, which ironically enough, that's what happened in college too. Like he went and got an engineering degree. I went and got a poli-sci degree. So girmiş miydin YKS'ye? Bizim zamanımızda YKS değildi kanka. Miydi? ÖSS miydi? Bir adam. ÖSS. That was the name of it back then. It's changed now. I'd rather be fucking stupid. At least I learned how to write decently in my advanced program. Yeah. Öğrenci seçme sınavı. ÖSS, lise, SBS, ortaokuldu bizim zamanımızda. SBS. SBS mi? Hatırlamıyorum bile. ÖSS, yuh amına koyayım. Ablam bile girmedi. Oğlum 33 yaşındayım lan ben. 33. Turks are shocked at how old I am right now. Because the old version of the placement exam, the old version of the placement exam that has been shelved for years now. There's like Turks in the chat being like, oh my God, even my older sister didn't take that test. You're older than my older sister. I'm like telling them, yeah, I'm 33, motherfucker. I'm an unk, dude. I'm an old geezer. Sınavlardaki din oranı arttı sen gideli. Sen OKS'ye girdin.
Is spent studying at home before falling asleep and lacking on sleep. A lot of people estimate that they spend 12 to 17 hours a day just studying. Hey, why are the fertility rates low? Bro, if you told me I had to study 15 hours a day, the last thing on my mind would be making kids. I want to make kids out of spite of what this world has to offer. Because why would I want to let my kids go through this hellhole called studying in South Korea? A big part of their demographic crisis is that they are extremely urbanized, and as all problems, it always comes down to fucking real estate. Over half of South Korea lives in the Seoul metropolitan area, because that's where all the Sky universities are. So everyone who wants to live well has to live in Seoul.
It's so nerdy, bro. This is neo-Confucianism. Like low-key, but also it's not even a joke. This literally is the unimaginable amount of fucking value placed on education and meritocracy that comes from it, even though economic inequality renders meritocracy to be completely fucking utterly useless. That is straightforwardly the reason why people are so invested in like getting this educational attainment, and it breaks their fucking brains. That is what this is. I wish we knew what that river that is.
And also because there are a bunch of construction restrictions that don't allow for a lot of housing to be built. So the limited housing in Seoul is basically a bidding war between Samsung higher-ups, normal South Koreans, and the guy from Squid Game. And the bidding war usually ends in the Samsung higher-ups buying these apartments, renting it to normal South Koreans for huge sums of money, and the guy from Squid Game sucking dick behind the Shake Shack in Yonge District for 2,500 won so he can keep chain smoking his SA lights. In 1928, Stalin started the first 5-year plan, and the goal was to move these stupid, dumb, illiterate peasant farmers out from the farms and get them into cities where there was big industry and make them make tractors and a bunch of other cool shit. By moving illiterate peasants out from these big farms and cramming them into apartments, the Soviet Union's birth rate crashed. In peasant farmer societies, children are usually encouraged because they're more of a free labor and not as much of a financial burden. However, in cities, raising children is expensive, and you also don't get a large family to help with farming. You're all alone in that Samsung factory, resulting in this, where you can clearly see that the fertility rates in big cities are much, much lower than their less urbanized areas. In Vienna's airport, they made the benches purposefully uncomfortable to keep people from sleeping on it. A real dedicated sleeper like me will never succumb to the capitalist invention of anti-homeless infrastructure. And even though these metal rods were hitting me straight in my hips, I had an amazing 8-hour-long sleep in this airport. Governments will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars building anti-homeless infrastructure just for me to sleep on it, when the only anti-homeless infrastructure that works is giving the homeless homes. And yeah, South Korea is cooked on all fronts. Not only everything I mentioned, but also their views are literally the complete opposite of women. It's like the South Korean male population thinks women are their enemy, because what even is this divide? It's literally just two opposite extremes, and
is so bad, bro. Is so bad. Is so fucked. Is so cooked. And then on top of that, you got the draft. I mean, you got conscription. And yeah, I think that it lights the match on a powder keg. You know what I mean? And people just like, they lose their fucking minds. They're like, bro, I am literally sucking daily dick from birth. And then I get shitty educational attainment, shitty job prospects, and I had to fucking serve in the goddamn military. What the fuck is going on? And also, I can't pay for housing. And then it doesn't even end. It's a hellish nightmare. Bro, South Korea is so capitalism on overdrive that the people that are supposed to be at the tippy top of society, the celebrities, even they go through this hellish scouting process. Like think about it, dude. There's no like, oh, you're famous now. It's cool. You're good. Like there's like 8 total people that get to that level of fame. Everybody else is fucking cooked. Yeah, I mean, there is a term for it. Hell, yeah. It's a satirical South Korean term that became popular around 2015. Hell Joseon. Did I say it right? They got Jungkook working in the mess hall, dog. No, him doing the military shit is not what I'm talking about. Hell Joseon. Ugh, that pronunciation. Sorry, I'm not like super into, I'm a weeb, so I don't know a lot about Korean culture.
The chances of them getting along to the point where they would want to have children is slim to none. Because of this toxic work, education, and dating culture, South Korea has the highest self-end rate in a first world country. Recently, I went out for a walk in Tbilisi with Geopold, discussing important topics such as Diddy and Skibbity toilet. And when I came back to my apartment, my Lenovo monitor had broken itself. Hong Kong had disappointed me. The warranty people told me it would take 3 weeks to order me a new one, and I would genuinely rather be waterboarded than not have access to my computer for 3 weeks. So I went ahead and got a new Samsung monitor. With this, I contributed to the mafia, not so secretly running the country of South Korea. The son of the chairman of Samsung literally bribed the president for a corporation favor that would benefit Samsung, and then got exposed for it. The president got overthrown, and Lee got sentenced to 5 years in prison. Then they reduced it to 2.5 years and released him after serving only 1 year in prison. Then, for some reason, he had a retrial about this.
Also, this was truly shocking, but I guess somewhat revolutionary when you think about it. But they get to stay on the board when they're in prison, which is literally mafia shit, bro. Like the motherfucker was still CEO in prison, brother. They'll be like, okay, we're taking away like one of your board positions, but you're still, you can still maintain some of them. It's just straight up mafia shit. Like that's how the mafia works. You go to jail, you serve your time, but you still got your fucking job. You know what I mean? Junior Soprano ass conditions. Yeah. God, the fucking South Korean economy is so cooked. It's so crazy. But hey, Channel 4 says you're a prosperous nation, and you objectively are. Oh, what the fuck? Someone's knocking on my door. Uh-oh.
sentenced back to prison for 2 years and 6 months. And then when there was a global chip shortage in the world, Joe Biden went to South Korea because America needed more chips, and the new president of South Korea pardoned the chairman of Samsung, and now he leads Samsung. I'm really liking this monitor though. Like, look, I can rotate it and watch Instagram reels like this. I don't know what it would take for the South Korean government to realize that their ultra-capitalist society is the cause for all their difficulties, such as being an incel, pulling 2014 ISIS numbers, and the real estate market being horrible. Also, the three big companies, but mainly Samsung, have so much power over there that every politician is there to serve Samsung's interests and not the South Korean people. You guys already saw how Samsung literally bribed the president with 37 million.
No, it's just my mom. Chat, it's just my mom. It's just my mom. I'm not getting deported because I watched one Gatsu video and they're deporting me to South Korea. Okay. I don't know what the program is, Mom. I'll send it to you. I have an itinerary. I'll send it to you. Do you want it here? You can go check out the room if you want. It's big. It's crazy. There's like a layout. I'm stuck in the freaking closet. No, I there's nowhere I can move this desk. There's no other area.
And that is only one of the things they have been exposed for. Just imagine how many secret deals have been taking place with Samsung's leaders and Korean politicians. I do not care how much money you have. If you're going to be alone for the rest of your life and also hold some extreme beliefs about the opposite sex and also never be able to own a home for yourself, no matter how much money you have either way, because Samsung exists, what's the point? And government-funded matchmaking events to try and get people to talk to each other is not going to fix the fact that even if they really liked each other, they wouldn't be able to afford the home because Samsung keeps buying up all the property to the point where they have their own little town dedicated to themselves. But a bunch of corporations have their own office towns. This isn't my big beef with them. I hope my Samsung monitor does not shut itself off using their Samsung AI to detect the words I'm writing and fucking explode my monitor. Because people in Korea get born in the Samsung medical.
Wait, what? Wait, why did the video get muted? No, I can't. Bye. Oh my God. I had to mute the audio from 10 to because it got copyright claimed. Just play some bangers yourself and watch that part. Oh, it got copyright claimed. Samsung struck him, dude. Samsung said, brat. Hold on. I got a song. I got a banger for this part. Hold on. I got it. Don't worry.
Where they have their own little town dedicated to themselves. But a bunch of corporations have their own office towns. This isn't my big beef with them. I hope my Samsung monitor does not shut itself off using their Samsung AI to detect the words I'm writing and fucking explode my monitor. Because people in Korea get born in the Samsung medical.
Samsung nursing home. Samsung funeral home. Samsung Development Park Cemetery.
This is genuinely a cyberpunk dystopia if I've ever heard one, where one company controls everything and bribes the president. These huge country-controlling, family-owned companies are the cause of nearly all of South Korea's problems, but they enable you to watch Instagram reels on a full 4K screen in portrait mode. Basically, if you're South Korean, you only have 3 options: Samsung worker, professional League of Legends player, or a K-pop idol. And when you become a K-pop idol, you are basically signing your human rights away to become a slave for a management company, where you live in dorms with your group members that are about to debut and literally starve yourself as a diet, usually eating about 1,000 calories a day. These women are...
You starve yourself for a diet, and there's a lot of sexual harassment, sexual assaults, and you can't live a normal life where you have like regular relationships because you'll get punished. That's what I'm saying. Even the most glamorous aspects of like South Korean life is crazy. Unless you are directly a chaebol, unless you're directly like the son or daughter of one of these like preordained industrial powerhouse baron families, you're fucking cooked. You're fucking cooked. Yeah, the name of the song I was playing is Cholima on the Wing. Yeah, you gotta be like Mr. Samsung. No, Jimin doesn't have human rights. Sag. You played one game and now you are the expert, huh? Oh, come on, dog. I know about this stuff. It's not because I played the fucking Booba game and now I know everything about Korean existence. I played the Booba game and I watched Parasite. That's why I'm an expert.
Than most men in the galactic empire. I mean, American military. Because they eat basically nothing all day and train these dancers for 8 to 10 hours a day. Aren't allowed to leave without permission and are not allowed to date anyone. And after 2 to 4 years of training, they might not even debut because their management company will refuse it. So put some fucking respect on K-pop's name. You might not like the music, but the work these people put in and the literal slavery they had to go through to get to where they are is just respectable. Game recognizes game. If I was a slave for 4 years and then random American teenagers made fun of me because I look gay and have plastic surgery, I would tweak out. I would defect to North Korea and send one of them.
So stupid. Oh. Cultural differences though. I feel like looking gay is pog. You look more like feminine. Looking more feminine is good, right?
19 missiles to that kid's house. Bye-bye, Russia. What do you think nearly all the cinema that comes out of South Korea is about hating rich, big, corrupt companies such as Parasite and Squid Game? This is their reality that they're living through. Side note, on top of this, they require me a visa to go there? Ah, hell nah. You know who doesn't require a visa for me? The European Union and China. I know who I'm choosing. Like and subscribe and goodbye.
天上太阳红呀红彤彤哎，心中的太阳是毛泽东哎，他领导我们的解放哎。
Oh my god. Oh my god.
South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol is...
Unks are glazing HasanAbi now as well? What is this?
Okay, I know everybody's heard the conversation, even seen posts from me regarding...
Yeah, we got Unks. We got Unk Watch. That video was from Gatsu called, what was it? Why South Korea is so bad or something?
Is often presented by Western media